Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Ferris State Softball, joined by head coach Kristin Janes. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
I know one of those Aprils where it seems like you never know if the schedule is going to change or not. Weather has certainly had an impact, and this past weekend obviously lost one doubleheader, but fortunately got one played.
You know, we lost two last week, one during the midweek against Northwood and then one Saturday against Parkside, but that's the spring and that's the way it goes, and we just reschedule them and keep moving forward with what we have. And we had finally some beautiful weather yesterday to get that doubleheader in against Purdue.
Before we talk about the Purdue Northwest doubleheader, obviously on Thursday took on Saginaw Valley State, and those two games scheduled for Saginaw Valley moved to Big Rapids with the wet field conditions. And how nice is it to have that new turf surface to be able to play some of those games?
You know, it's great because it gives us, like you said, the ability to not worry too much about our own home games, but then also open the opportunity for other teams to come here when fields like Saginaw were absolutely unplayable, and with only so much time left in our schedule, sometimes there's not a lot of options when you can play games. So they were willing to give up the home game to come here so we could get those games in, which was great because that just really adds another home game for us, and who doesn't like to be at home?
Obviously took on Saginaw on Thursday, then back to take on Purdue Northwest on Sunday. And as we go to the highlights of Sunday's action, obviously you got to be proud of the effort of your team in game one against a team that had the best record in terms of winning percentage coming in the conference.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we did some really great things, both on offense and on defense. We were very selective at the plate and disciplined in what we were choosing to swing at. Had really great approaches, and we were able to really sit on their changeup, which really took a very valuable pitch out of their pitching arsenal and made it that much easier for our hitters. And then, on defense, we were clean, and we had a stellar pitching performance from Christy Gray on the mound, just giving up one run in 6 innings, and she did a fantastic job keeping them on their toes. And Allie McGarrah behind the plate was calling pitches for that game, and she did a great job as well.
Obviously, this is one of those games that was low scoring, and every run extremely important here over the course of the 7 innings.
It was, and this was one of those games that you had to capitalize on the mistakes of the other team. And so whether it was a misplayed ball or a bad throw, you had to take every extra base that you could to put pressure on their defense to allow us to get a couple extra runs. And we did that. And, we were very mellow and just playing our game throughout that whole 7 innings, I think, which really allowed us to be able to be in control from inning 1 to 7.
Really, your team did a nice job at the plate, really extending some at-bats, and drew a number of walks here in this contest as well, which helped out in addition to the hits you did have.
Yeah, and we talked yesterday, between games about passing the bat. And sometimes that's what you need. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to hit the big hit, but get on base and pass the bat to that next person in the on-deck circle. And that tires the opposing pitcher and defense out, even like you said, get the walks or a hit by pitch or a single here and there that really, wears on somebody. And we did a great job of just going one pitch to one hit to one batter every inning.
Strong, obviously, defensive performance, holding Purdue Northwest to 1 run, a team that had 15 wins on the year coming into this contest.
They did. They've proven that they're a good ball club and they can, play with just about anybody. And so just like some of our previous doubleheaders, it's important that when we go out, we know that we can run and we can win against anybody. And we proved that against Grand Valley. We proved that here with them being, the top team in the conference at the time, like you said. And so we're just as good as everybody else on this conference. And they showed that, we're right there.
Obviously, you got the 4-1 win in the first game. Take away the first inning or so in the second game, and you're right there in the ball game here in this game too as well.
Exactly. It's almost, if I recall it, almost a tie ball game if you take out that very first rough inning we had on defense. And one of the biggest things that I'm proud of with the girls for that second game is when you get down big early, it's easy to give up and it's easy to fold. And it shows their character and it shows the drive and the ability to have one another's backs to just keep driving through that game, because they could have given up. We could have gone, in 5 innings and been done, but we had some key pinch hits, in that 5th inning that extended the ball game, and we stayed nice and focused all the way around, which allowed us to get more reps, which, worst case scenario, if you're going to take a loss, make sure you're better when you're done after that loss. And that gave us the opportunity to be better when we were done.
You mentioned those pinch hits. How important is it to get not only those, but some big hits from the 7, 8, 9 hitters in your lineup?
Yeah, we had some great production. Kate Orm, Allie McGarra, Casey Boucher are out, towards the bottom of our lineup, and they came up clutch, and 2 out hits and, runner on base hits, which sometimes we've been struggling with this season. And they did a really good job of, like I said, being nice and relaxed and calm in the box and playing their game.
When you're playing a doubleheader like this, how important is it to get that first win, knowing you've got one win kind of under your belts going into game 2?
Yeah, it's huge. The momentum in our game can really define whether you win or lose a game, and it really can set up the next matchup that you have with the opposing team, because just like with everybody else, we'll go to Purdue here in 2 weeks. And play them again. And so you really want that momentum going into that next doubleheader, so you can start off on the right foot there.
Obviously, you get the split on Sunday, and now a chance kind of to regroup here a little bit and get ready for 4 more games coming up at home this weekend against Davenport and Grand Valley.
Yeah, we get to rest for a couple days, which is nice. A lot of our conference opponents are doing makeup games, so we are really appreciating those couple days off. And then, heading back into another huge series. Davenport here, like you said, Friday, and Grand Valley on Saturday, right before Easter. And I think this set us up really well again for those matchups, because we did play 2 good ball games yesterday, and that's what you need. You need that positive feeling and those good, reinforcing things that you do, taking yourself into that next set of games.
Obviously, playing Davenport and Grand Valley, both for the second doubleheaders here of the season. Split with both teams earlier, and how much do you look back at those games and help prepare you for this next time around against these same opponents?
Yeah, we took huge strides forward with those 2 doubleheaders that we played. Those were at the beginning and coming off of our non-conference play, and I think that is going to set us up huge for the second half of the GLIAC schedule. It's always harder going into those second games because you've played everybody twice. And so, again, having the reps those games before, knowing what you did to be successful and trying to replicate that, and then also knowing the weakness of your opponents and being ready from a scouting side of things. We're ready to go and ready to play.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time, and best of luck as you take on Davenport on Friday, Grand Valley on Saturday, both doubleheaders starting at 1 o'clock.
Yes, thanks so much.
That'll do it for Ferris Sports Update. You can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.